Well, good evening all, and welcome to the Board of Adjustments meeting for August 3rd, 2021. With that introduction, let's start with the approval of minutes, which I believe was back in May 25th. I wasn't at that one. Does anybody else have any comments? There wasn't much there on the write-up other than just approval of minutes, or actually of the meeting.
Well, Joe, it looks like you and I and Tim weren't there, so I don't think we want to make the motion.
Yeah.
If I remember, this is one of the shorter ones we ever had on record. So
Yes.
it would actually probably take longer to read through these minutes than it actually took to conduct the meeting. So as far as I can tell, the minutes read exactly like it went. So
Yeah, I make a motion, we approve them.
I'll second that motion since I was there.
We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Abstained.
Aye. So the motion passes. Those minutes are approved. And with that, on to what we're here tonight for.
This is all ready to go, so good evening, Chairman and board members. For your consideration tonight, we have a conditional use permit application that's located at 225 East Palouse River Drive. Every time. Me and this thing. I need to get one at home so I can master it, right? Yeah, the laser's working.
I don't even see the red dot.
You know
Is-
what,
are
we're
the
just gonna,
batteries-
we're gonna click through is what we're gonna do.
That works.
And if I need to point, then I'll do it with my left hand, so forgive me if I'm off shaky. Okay, so, well, we were gonna do it that way, but the keyboard's not
The mouse works.
functioning either. There we go. All right, now we're working. Okay, so the applicant, Leanne Noble, is requesting a conditional use permit to establish a large childcare facility. That's described as having 21 or more children. Location, as I said before, is 225 East Palouse River Drive. The facility would operate between 8:30 and 4:30 p.m., Monday through Friday. The ages of the children would be 3 to 7, and the child care facility would have 4 employees. So a little bit of background. Gold Mountain Community School has been a licensed and permitted child care facility, leasing its previous location at 214 North Main Street since August 2012. The applicant closed the facility in March of 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And on June 29, 2021, the applicant filed for a conditional use permit for a large child care facility located at 225 East Palouse River Drive. The applicant is currently under contract to purchase the subject property, and that is why we're here this evening. So the site and area and access, the subject property is 0.25 acres. It's located just east of Highway 95 on Palouse River Drive and is accessed only via Palouse River Drive. The most recent use for the facility was Circles of Caring, and it was an adult daycare facility. To the east is Northwest Management. Palouse Rental Self-Storage is adjacent to the south. The Grove Apartment Complex is across the street, across Palouse River Drive to the north. And Auto Body Super Center is adjacent to the west. Here is an aerial of the subject property outlined here in red. The Grove across to the north, Highway 95 here, and Palouse River Drive obviously here. Storage facilities located just here at the south. The subject property is zoned motor business. That would mean that it would provide for a location and grouping of compatible uses having similar operation as they involve enterprises which depend primarily on transient motor vehicle-based trade. By concentrating such uses, the city intends to increase public convenience where utilizing such services and with the regulation to allow activities to render the maximum service. The properties to the east, the south, and the west of the subject property are also all zoned motor business. The Grove to the north, so the apartment complex is zoned R4, multiple family residential. Here's an aerial of the zoning showing primarily motor business in the surrounding area with the adjacent R4 here. This is a closer up aerial of the subject property showing access here off Palouse River Drive, parking lot here. There is an outdoor play area here, and the daycare itself would be contained within this building. This is the front of the subject property. You can see the parking that's already established. This is a proposed layout of the interior. I won't go into too much detail. The applicant can do that if she chooses, but the building is sectioned off into different areas based on different skills or activities the children would be utilizing. As you can see, there's parking out into the front, handicap accessible parking, and another additional 2 spaces up here. So let's talk about parking and loading. Off-street parking requirements for a large child care facility are 4 spaces per facility. The loading requirements for a large child care facility are 2. Those need to be provided on-street subject to the approval of the city engineer when the space is reserved for otherwise generally available and which is located in the same side of the street of the child care facility. On-street loading spaces cannot be within 30 feet from an intersection. Or the alternative is off-street where the travel path from the loading spaces to the facility entrance do not cross vehicle maneuvering or travel areas. The applicant, so if the facility as presented requires 4 spaces and the site currently contains 10 spaces. The applicant is proposing to use 2 of those spaces as the loading spaces, and they are closest to the main entry. So as you can see here, you've got your your regular parking spaces. These 2 are the identified loading spaces with an access aisle through the playground entrance here, and this is the main entrance to the building. So they would exit the vehicle, go directly here to the playground, and obviously into the building. Play areas, as far as Moscow City Code Title IX goes, the daycare facilities shall provide open spaces, outdoor play spaces. A minimum of 100 square feet per child is required. This area shall be adjacent to the daycare facility and shall provide a safe area that can be easily maintained and accessible for the use of the children. The applicants propose to utilize a screened outdoor play area in the rear that is 6,000 square feet. So, being that the applicant meets all of the zoning criteria, staff recommends approval of the conditional use permit to operate the large child care facility at 225 East Palouse River Drive with no conditions. I'd be happy to take any questions you might have.
Amy, according to the visual or the aerial, it looks like the business will be sharing the driveway with the storage facility. Is that true?
Yeah, so there is, let me get back to that image
Yeah.
here. So let me go to this one, gives a little bit more perspective. So the access drive is right here off of Palouse River Drive. There is a 20-foot travel path all the way back to the storage facility. And so that is a shared access way right there.
Okay, I probably will ask the applicant, I just wonder what legal authority either they have to this entryway or that the rental unit has. I just wonder if there's a conflict there. I mean, it must be resolved, but I'm just curious because, and I don't know if that traffic is a problem with this operation, knowing there'll be a bunch of kids around. Although I know they'll be in the building or in the play area. Just kind of seems like a conflict there, and I haven't quite figured out what that is.
Yeah, likely there's an access agreement recorded, an access
sort of
easement.
You might get-
That's typically how these things are handled. There's an access easement recorded on that property that grants the permission to use that travel aisle and that access.
I'm just wondering who's granting the easement, if it's an easement, and I just wonder if that's a potential
The
area.
applicant may be able to answer
Yeah,
that as she's
okay.
going through the purchase of the property. They would probably have disclosed that to her already.
And the applicant says, and I might have to ask them, but but since you briefed the neighborhood around on each quadrant, she says in her application that the Prairie Charter School is across the street, and yet that's not mentioned in your briefing. So I'm sure that's not an issue, but I just wonder where it is, so that we're all talking about the same place.
I believe it's off Powers.
Yeah, it's just a little bit
Just-
further
just
off
off
of
the-
Powers.
At
It's
1
up Where
o'clock.
it says Power Save or
Yeah.
something like
Yeah,
that? Oh, okay,
it's
all
right
right.
up, off, I think, believe it's up in
Oh,
this
I
region
see.
right up here, so close proximity.
All right, that's what I have for now, Neil. Thanks.
Anybody else have questions for staff? Thanks, Amy.
Not a problem.
Well, would the applicant care to come up and explain the project and potentially answer the question about an easement? And it might be that it's the same owner for both properties, I don't know.
It is. They have legally separated that section, and in order for us to buy the property, we have to give them the right-of-way to access their storage units.
Okay.
And just as a personal note, I have not seen anybody access those storage units when I've come and, been around the property. It's a pretty quiet street.
Okay.
So, yeah, my project is, after COVID hit, and I decided to take a break, had some soul searching, and I'm really excited about growing the school. So I'm going from a small childcare facility to a large one, and thus that's the need for the more space. And I believe it's it's just the dream space. I've been operating out of the Grange building, and it's been a fabulous space. Great location downtown, very convenient for everybody, wonderful classroom space with outdoor. This place is beyond my wildest dreams. The playground itself well exceeds the state's or the city's requirement for space. It's beautifully landscaped, it's trees, it's shaded. There's, as you saw, that little pathway, there's already a cement, a bike path for the children, fully fenced in with the privacy fencing. We can go and make a lot of noise, and I don't think anybody's going to hear us. I'm really excited about that. And then, again, indoors, it's, I'll be legally able to care for up to 81 students in that amount of space. I'm not going to do it, but that's just what I'm telling you. It's going to be a fabulous facility. And as we've been talking the past year or two about the childcare shortage in town, I'm trying to be part of the solution. So if there's anything else I'm supposed to talk about, please let me know.
Any questions for the applicant?
How big is the square footage of the building?
The building itself is 5,000 square feet. I'm going to operate 3,000 of that is child-friendly space. The upstairs, I will not be having children up there because I need to have a fire suppression system, i.e. sprinklers, which I can't afford right now. So 3,000 square feet is plenty. Yeah.
Any other questions for our applicant? Well, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Since we have such a big crowd, would either of the other two of you care to add to that?
I assume they're all the same group, I mean, not somebody opposed.
All right.
My husband and a former student who flew back to help me.
There you go.
Helping the school get started.
Fair enough. And then the only other person in our crowd I know is with the newspaper, so. So with that, I guess I didn't technically open it for public, but it was. And so now we'll close it and let the board discuss any issues that they may or may not see. Marshall?
No, I don't have any issues at all, Joe. I think it's a terrific facility for what you want to do. I was the contractor when Gritman did the adult daycare center, so thank you for saying that the building was nice and that the landscaping was nice and everything, so, yeah.
And I've been talking with some colleagues about how can we target children with disabilities because I have 4 handicap accessible bathrooms.
Yeah, and there was a lot of volunteers from Gritman that helped with that too. And so I think it's a terrific facility for what they want to do.
Just, because I'm sure the microphone didn't pick up what she just said, the facility is already built in to deal with with handicap accessibility for any students that she may or may not have. So that would be another nice thing, I think, to add to the record. I don't know what anybody else thought, but of our 7 criteria, these just all seem to be simple slam dunks.
Well, I've been in there, I used to have a storage unit back there, I agree. I know it's fenced off, you have to have a code. I don't know that I ever saw anybody else there at the same time I was, to be candid. So I have no concerns whatsoever about traffic there as I think about other places around town that we have approved these daycare facilities. This is probably the least of my concerns would be traffic.
The least that has any traffic issues.
Yeah, I mean, you'll probably get more noise from the body shop than you will from your kids next door, to be candid. So this is, I really do think this is a perfect location. I think it speaks volumes that we don't have anything in our packets, at least that I could see, where anybody's opposing this or worried about children being run over. I agree that this is, I agree with Marshall, I think this is a great opportunity, great idea.
Steve or Tim, any comments?
No, I agree. I think it's a great project and a need in the community, and it looks like it's an ideal location and facility.
My only question is, you're operating a child care here in town, and at that time, how many students did you have?
About 20 enrolled, but I never had more than 10 at one time. Just a one-woman show.
So this time, you've got a range here of 30 to 40 students.
Yes. I'll see how it feels once I get up to 30, if I want to add more. I don't know how I'm going to feel when I get there, so.
And-
Creating a quality early child experience and not a puppy farm.
She's doing the Reggio Emilia program, which is sort of, I mean, I don't know if you've heard of it, sort of.
Actually,
Montessori, but it's
can I get both of you to come up here, just so that your comments are caught in the mic? Because I know the answer to that question was 20, and she doesn't really want to exceed 30, but you just said a technical term that I can't repeat,
Oh, right.
because I don't know it.
Yeah, so 10 children on my own, very comfortable, very, but legally and, morally, I need to have help as I grow. So once I get to 30, I'll see how that feels, how the dynamics work in that building, the people I'm working with, and then, to go up to 40 if
adding staff to make sure that
Yes.
it's the appropriate student-to-teacher ratio. So,
Okay.
but the Reggio Emilia program is sort of more of an elite program. It's sort of like Montessori, but it's different. But it's going to actually fill a niche which there isn't a Montessori type of program here in Moscow anymore. And this is a chance to bring Reggio Emilia here, which emphasizes hands-on art and community, and the
Yeah.
facility is perfect for that as well, so.
Okay. I just got a question then. Are you going to start with 4 employees, or, you said you did
No,
the
I'll-
10 with 1?
Every time I get more children, then I have to add a staff member. So right now, I'm around 10. I'm hoping within this next month, I'll get a couple more so I can have that second person on. So,
Okay.
quickly as my advertising campaign can work for me.
And if I'm not mistaken from previous daycare facilities, that ratio is actually already dictated as part of your licensing, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Okay.
is. Yeah.
Thank you for coming up again. Marshall?
Well, prepared to make a motion, I guess.
I'm willing to accept a motion. State your motion.
No, I'd move approval of the conditional use permit application with no conditions, and direct staff to prepare a reason statement and relevant criteria and standards.
I have a motion.
I will second that motion.
I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain? It's a unanimous decision, and that is done. Congratulations.
Yes, good luck.
Okay, with that,
Find a time to,
yeah, that's the next thing is coming up with a time, I'm assuming sometime next week to approve the minutes for this. how much time does staff need to prepare?
So it looks like, I don't know what your schedule is like, but next week, council chambers seems to be quite full, but we could do the mayor's conference room on Monday, the 9th, or Thursday, the 12th. The other alternative that's available is the same Monday in council chambers on the 16th? Okay. So it looks like Monday or Thursday of next week, if that works for you. It'd be a quick, the quick
5-minute.
15-minute meeting, 5-minute meeting, if any of you have time to stop by.
I'll leave that to the four of you. I can't get from Spokane to here
Yeah, I'll
That's
be in
right.
on
Portland
work days
Monday.
that quick.
12th works for me,
The 12th?
Thursday the 12th, if
yeah.
you're in a,
Well, the 9th works
Oh,
for
for
me, and not, the 12th is iffy. I
either
just
one
can't-
works for me.
We need 3, and we should be good. So it's possible, so the 2 of you are available.
I can do either
Either
day.
one's
Yeah.
fine? Marshall, are you available the 9th?
No.
No, okay. Steve, what's your availability? Anything?
I'm good. Either way,
Either way, you can come?
yeah.
Okay, so why don't we do the 9th? Looks like we have 3 on the 9th. Monday, the 9th at 5:15 in Mayor's Conference Room. 5:30, sorry.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right.
17, 5 o'clock or 5:30, did you?
5:30.
So that deals with that meeting. Did you get responses earlier today, Jennifer, regarding the next potential meeting? You had some dates of 8:24, 8:30, 8:31, and 9:1. Have you received? Okay.
Thank you.
I haven't responded. I don't know yet. That's actually a week span. It's before Labor Day, but that we try to take a vacation before Labor Day and avoid everybody else. So, I don't have a good response to that one
If
yet.
you could get back to us by tomorrow morning,
I suspected with the dates that you needed this right away.
yeah, only because if it's gonna be one of those dates, it would have to be noticed by this Saturday, so we have to have it to the newspaper by tomorrow. So tomorrow at lunchtime, if we could have everybody's response, that way we know whether or not we need to send it in.
What date were we looking
Um,
at?
There's
The,
Did I respond to
Tuesday,
that?
24, Monday, 8:30, Tuesday, 8:31, and Wednesday, 9:1. So there's Tuesday from the week of the 23rd, and then 3 days the following week.
Yeah, I can only make the 24th, because I'll be out
I
of
think that
town.
I am dropping off a daughter to college in Pocatello the week of the 23rd, so.
okay. And you'll let us know, Joe, about your availability?
Actually, the 24th of those 4, that one's
The best
the
one for
best
you?
one for me.
Did Annette reply today?
Yeah, I think that'll work for me
That
too.
works for
If
you?
that came out today, that's why I didn't reply, because I've been,
Okay.
Okay, so that's 3 at least. Okay.
If we do it Tuesday, 8:24, do you?
I'm just working, so I just have to over from
We're gonna
work.
take that as a yes.
Whatever day works.
so if you're doing, yeah, I'll be out, but you guys will be covered. So-
Okay.
Okay, so that gives us 4. So do you want to plan on doing the 24th then for that meeting? Perfect.
See?
What about, isn't,
We're
the other,
making-
the
making
ladies, now I know Lorraine is resigned,
Correct, yeah.
but Annette,
She was here at the last meeting?
She
I can't
was.
remember.
I want to say she was,
Yeah,
yeah.
so we're not sure of her availability at this particular time. I don't think she replied to Jennifer's messages yet. So we may be able to pick up another, which would be nice. That way, everybody's here to make.
Does the city have a potential replacement candidate or candidates
I have not heard
yet?
anything yet from the mayor.
Okay.
He may have applications, he may not. I usually don't hear about it until right before the appointment.
Okay.
And then it usually happens at council, the appointment.
See,
then,
she
yeah.
was here. This one, members present.
Okay, any other items from staff?
I have nothing.
All right, well, with that, I move to adjourn. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
yeah,
Unanimous? We're done. All right.
Thank you.